Hello, Patriots. My name is Dan Sebring, and I'm the second Vice Chairman of the Republican Party of Milwaukee County's Milwaukee South Branch. We've made some great strides here in Wisconsin. We've balanced our budget without raising taxes and given our local governments the tools they need to rein in spending and save countless public sector jobs. During the month of June, half the private sector jobs created in the nation were created right here in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we've proven that we know how to make things work, and we know how to create a business-friendly environment and sustainable jobs. And it's time our leaders in Washington got the message that their policies aren't helping, they're hurting. I'd like to take a moment with you to review the wrong-headed policy decisions that have landed our nation in its current economic quagmire. One of the first things Democrats did after taking back Congress in 2007 was raise the federal minimum wage 41% between 2007 and 2009. The result? The unemployment rate went from 4.4% in 2007 to 10.1% in 2009. Today, it's holding at 9.2%. For teenagers and college students, the traditional summer job market is all but dried up, as their unemployment rate went from 14.9% to 27.1%, the highest ever recorded since 1948. Today, it's still 24.5%. In 2008, unless you were a liberal politician or a large bank executive, you were likely against the Troubled Asset Relief Program. When the dust cleared, the federal government owned 2 bankrupt car companies and the god-awful mortgage portfolios of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. 2 entities that had nothing to do with the original purpose of TARP. The Tea Party was born of opposition to the president's stimulus package. We all know that story only too well. We were told the stimulus package would create 3 million jobs or more. It would keep unemployment under 8% instead of the predicted 9% without a stimulus. It would cost $787 billion. The jobs were shovel-ready. And what did the stimulus package deliver? 1.2 million fewer jobs. Unemployment went over 10%, and it's still over 9%, when the stimulus was supposed to hold the line at 8%. It cost over $814 billion, and optimistic estimates say that only 6% of it went to infrastructure projects. The president's reaction? Shovel-ready wasn't as shovel-ready as we thought. Of course, the president and his followers insist on continuing to lay blame on the mess they inherited from Bush. But that has been studied by economists at the University of Western Ontario and Ohio State University. The verdict? The stimulus itself cost over 1 million private sector jobs. The net job loss was about 595,000. We'd have been better off without any stimulus at all. This brings us to Obamacare. Obamacare was sold as a way to bend the health care cost curve down. It's bending the cost curve up. Health care will only be more costly than it would have been without the Affordable Health Care for America Act, a program that is such a boon to the American way of life that in its first year, over 1,500 companies, states, and unions were granted waivers. Then there's the drilling moratorium. According to a recent study, merely picking up the pace in granting oil drilling permits would go a long way in producing jobs throughout the U.S. In 2012, it could mean 230,000 new jobs alone, not to mention lower gas prices. The price of gas was $1.61 per gallon when Bush left office. Today, it's hovering just under $4 per gallon and is expected to go higher. Finally, there's the debt ceiling and budget battle. While some credit the Tea Party for bringing discussion of the budget and the debt to the forefront, it's also getting blamed from much of the media and liberal punditry for holding the full faith and credit of the United States hostage. The truth is, the Democrats have not even written, let alone passed a budget of any kind in over 2 years. They simply kill everyone else's. And if seniors don't get their Social Security checks and the military doesn't get paid, that would be because the president chose not to meet those obligations and no other reason. The Republican-led House passed the budget on schedule in April, Senate Democrats voted it down. The President proposed a budget in February. The Democrat-led Senate voted that down 97-0. The House proposed the only written plan addressing the debt ceiling, the cut cap and balance plan. Senate Democrats voted that down too. Nothing the Democrats did helped. Everything they did hurt. Everything. You don't have to be Einstein to figure out that Senate Democrats are the party of no, and that they are the obstacle to resolving budget and debt issues. Yes, we've made great strides here in Wisconsin, but success in America is still an endangered species. The very bedrock concept underlying what's typically called the American dream continues to be threatened. The President's agenda continues to bolster uncertainty rather than security for the American people. What we need in Washington, D.C. right now is leadership, not showmanship. And if we want to stop the gridlock in Washington, D.C. and get America back on the path to prosperity, what we need to do is send more conservatives to Washington, D.C. and stop the senseless tax and spend policies of the other side of the aisle. Thank you, Patriots. My name is Dan Sebring, and I'll see you wherever Americans gather in the name of freedom and liberty.
Thank you.